Cassidy right now. Hi.
Hi.
Guess what? I have Instagram working and this. I am feeling technically savvy today.
Fabulous.
I'm supposed to have, my kid Finn is 20 and told me all the how to do this, so you guys would go over to YouTube instead of me having to constantly do story updates and stuff. But it doesn't have you, because if I move it, well, I guess it could. I guess it could have you, but I really want, yeah, they don't see much. So the camera is on. This is all so new to me, but I didn't want it to be unstable, and it has been so unstable on Instagram when I've been doing my lives. So of course, my good friend Karen, who lives in England and writes romantic suspense, spicy romance that I'm addicted to, decided to join me last minute. So I love that when you have a friend who will just go, sure, at last minute. Look gorgeous.
That's what we do.
I haven't, okay, this is new though. I can't see myself on YouTube, so I don't know if we are indeed, do you have a tablet? Can you see if we're actually streaming? I'm sure there's ways. I'm sure there's ways and I don't know the ways.
I have
oh,
so
wait.
I can't see you.
Oh, this call is being streamed. No, it says it's being streamed.
Oh. Yeah, because I can't see you.
You have to go to, you have to go to Heather Grace Stewart, all one word, and then it's it'll stay live stream. It's not videos. If you go to my YouTube channel.
Yeah. That's all right.
I see we have some viewers on Instagram. Hi, I'm Heather. I'm trying new things. Very scary for when you're over 50, but I think it's good. I've got my the lighting isn't great here, sorry, but I have my ring light on me on YouTube. And the whole idea is that I want to do more interviews with author friends, and I want to do a live reading with the narrators of the audiobook of The Love Leap, which is my new release out since end of June. And by the time that it comes out, and by the time December rolls around, and we're doing a live, which is sponsored by the Canada Council of Canada, which is exciting. I wanted to make sure it wasn't a disaster of a stream, so I wanted to make sure all my technology was set up. So that was the idea, guys, is to make sure that Gary and Jackie, my narrators, can read from The Love Leap. Did you notice, Karen, that I have a ladder? I have my fantasy rolling ladder.
Yes, I can see your ladder behind you. Yes, I am very jealous, envious.
Yes, well, Bill just built it last night, you know.
Yeah.
My handyman. Oh, okay. We are live on YouTube. This is exciting, guys. I have not, it's been a hot minute, as they say. I used to have regular vids on YouTube, and then I got incredibly busy, and a lot of readers and Bookstagram happened on Instagram. So I could only be in one place. I felt I couldn't stretch myself thin. So I stopped YouTube and started going on Insta. And I believe this could actually even stream to Facebook, but for now I just have it streaming to YouTube, just to one thing at a time.
Yeah, well, I can see you on YouTube.
I wonder what the sound is like. I have a mic.
I don't know if I've got that.
Yeah, it might actually have feedback if you try that.
Yeah. No, I can hear you.
Okay.
Yeah, I can hear you. I just didn't turn up very loud. So yeah, it is working. I'm
so excited. So what is new with author Cassidy Reyne? I'd like to know what you're up to lately.
Oh, I am preparing for a big signing event in Northern England, in Leeds, called Authors at the Armories. It's a 2-day event, so I'll be signing on the Friday and the Saturday. So I'm now trying to get all my pre-orders together, and I need to order more books. I hope they get to me in time.
That's so stressful I'm sure it is for trad authors too. We're indie, so we have to be in charge of all these things ourselves. But the timing of making sure you press that publish button and then get the books in time, very stressful.
Yeah, I mean, I'm lucky because I think possibly because I'm near London. My books often come in 2 to 3 days, but I have had so many horror stories from author friends who can wait easily 2 weeks for their books to arrive. And knowing Amazon, some of them will have to be sent back because they're not very good at packing the books.
Oh, I know that's happening to my spines, and I'm having to send some back, which just wastes. So I actually over order expecting some to be messed up.
Yeah, yeah.
I have an event
Come with the covers folded and all sorts of things, so which is very annoying.
I have an event on November 15th. And this is the best part of my week. I'm really involved. I'm really down to the wire for the edits for the Love Quest, which comes out November 14th. It's
Can't wait.
ready. It's almost ready, but I want it. It's not that it's not ready for publication. It's that I want my advanced readers to have them to review. So I want to get them in their hands, at least 3 weeks before it goes out so they can read it and review. And I'm almost ready, but I've also been doing all kinds of things that probably, I shouldn't be, but you have to do happy things to make you happy. So
yeah,
Cassidy and I are both attending Authors in Wonderland next July 26th in Nottingham. And it was Cassidy who told me about doing it. And so I already have merch for giveaways to entice people to go and to get book bundles, because by then I'll have 3 books. So if you get a bundle, you can be entered in a draw. I have different draws, but this is have you seen this yet, the sweatshirt?
I have seen it. Yes, you have shown me the sweatshirt. It's so gorgeous.
So I only have 2 of those right now, but I'm waiting to see what happens with one, because I can't really ship them to England. It's going to be too much, not ship, but like in my suitcase, too much. So they can't really be merch that I'm selling there, but I might do it. I might be going to Cornwall. Readers Take Cornwall, which is just an hour from me. I'm in Montreal. So I might be able to sell them there. So that's, the whole merch thing with books is a whole new thing since I started being an author 9 years ago. It's just taken off. We didn't used to have it, but it's fun. And it's fun for the book events. That's why it's kind of taken root, I think.
Yeah.
I have these for Scotland. Is called, it's hard to do this with the back. You can tell now, my office is not like this. I'm going to take it off. My office is fine. It looks nice. It's neat. How do you take the backgrounds off?
I don't know. I rarely use them.
Oh, here's see, I'm being real with you guys now. How do you just go no nothing?
See, my chair is hiding the mess in my office.
I don't know. I don't know how to have no background. Oh wait, you have to press on the one that you're on. Right. That's my office. It's not so bad. There's a beautiful ray of sunlight streaming in, and everybody who reads my book work knows I love light, and I write about light and dark a lot, if you're paying attention. Okay, there. Scotland is Calling and I Must Go are these little, I don't know if you've seen that yet. And I'm going to be giving these to people who get bundles. So the more books they pre-order for July 26th in Wonderland, the more I'll put in. And I don't need therapy. I just need to go to Scotland sticker. And for any who's local, any Canadians or more Montreal, I'd like to, if you buy 2 books, I'll be giving you a little sticker. So I've got I'm a Sucker for Fictional Men.
Oh,
I've got these too. I like it hot with the Scott. So I'm having fun with that. And that's kind of my stress release from when I'm not editing or writing right now. Because there's, you have to have something to kind of motivate you to keep going. What do you do in your spare time when you're not? I know you read a lot.
Yes, I do. I read a lot. My husband and I have also got a small property company, so I do help him out with that a little bit. So I do need to sort of go around to the properties occasionally to either inspect them or, as we're doing right now, we're selling 2 properties. So we the decorators and builders in for that. But I also really love taking my camera out and go to somewhere nice and pretty and take lots and lots of photographs.
And I know, but the viewers don't know why Cassidy Reyne started writing. I know why. But Why did you get into this? And now you have how many novels?
Well, I'm about to publish my 9th novel. So yeah. No, it's quite simple. It's a cliche. It's the empty nest syndrome. My daughter was in Australia. She was transferring to finish a degree out there. My son was either at school or playing sports or with his girlfriend. So I sat here thinking, what am I going to do now? That is just something for me. Okay, yes, I've got, can work with the business, even though my husband does most of it. But I needed something that was for me, because I couldn't just sit around and watch TV, trashy TV and eat chocolates. So that's not me. So I decided the scariest thing I could think of, and that was to write down a story that I had in my head for many years. And I've not stopped since.
And that is, well, name your series. Why don't you tell everybody about your series? I'd love to help promote you more. So tell me about your series.
Well, they're all steamy romantic suspense, apart from one, which is a steamy paranormal romance. And my main series is set in America, mostly around Boston. And it revolves around a group of men who are close friends and them finding their happy ever after.
But you write really great alpha men.
Oh, thank you.
So she was being mild when she goes, a group of men. They're all pretty much alpha. And the heroes, the main ones you follow a female character and a male character. A lot like me. People always say, who's the hero of your book? Well, I always have a heroine and a hero.
Yeah. Oh yeah, the females are then, even though the men are bossy and overprotective and clueless, I would say. The women are no slouches. They're not sort of just, they're not doormats. They know what they want. They go after what they want. They are all, they've got good jobs that they enjoy. They are independent. They are they don't take a lot of nonsense from anyone. They do what they want. You've
got a really busy day, and Cassidy just offered to do this to test it out to make sure it all worked. Hi, thank you for joining. We're over on YouTube. So by my channel, it's just my name. So Cassidy has to get back to work, but it was so nice of you to do this. But I want to do one big overall general question, but you can just pinpoint what you think. What do you think? Spice has become the spice of life in books and Bookstagram and Book Talk, and it has grown, and it has helped grow the romance. I believe it's the driving force for why people are more curious about reading romance. It's also, I feel that romance has become much less taboo. When I was growing up, I'm a more a 1980s kid, because I was too young in the 70s to even know about reading those kinds of books. So yeah, it was more taboo, and they were the big chesty man and the woman with the robe swaying in the wind. More Regency kind of stuff too, right? Back in the 80s. Mm-hmm. Where I come from, and then suddenly, and that was all taboo, and you hid those in a box in your basement. That's how I actually found them. My mom wasn't hiding them. She was selling them so she said. No, she was selling them for our book craft fair kind of thing at my school, but she was probably hiding them from me because they were in the basement, and people neighbors had brought ones to donate to and then I go down there when I'm like 12 and start reading them, and that was pretty much my sex education was my honest sex education, right? So this is a long-winded question, but I think it's fun to let you know where I'm coming from. It's really changed. We're so much more open, and it's not taboo. Tell me what you think about this.
I think it absolutely has changed. I mean, I'm a little bit older than you. And for me, in my teens, I would say probably mid-teens, it was, Jackie Collins was coming out with her books, and they were, oh my goodness, that they really were, people were hiding behind them and hiding the books themselves. And also, of course, Jilly Cooper.
Yes.
And I think they actually, the two of them, set the ball rolling. And if you look at some of the, what I would call unhinged dark romance, I mean, anything goes, really.
Yeah.
And good, because,
Yeah.
sex and all of that is just part of everybody's lives.
That's the thing, is that it's empowering women and young adult women to not be ashamed. And also we're working on less body shaming in books too. And there's now there's the trigger warnings too, which I think is another thing to be applauded. These are all things that I think have improved the genre. And I'm not, I was never embarrassed to be a romance writer, but I might have just said I'm an author over the years. And I've said romance more because I'm really proud of it. And it's not easy to write a romance. It's not. Try to explain how human relationships work.
No, it's not easy. I mean, if you look at all the dark romance that comes out, do you have two different factions? You have those that think, oh my God, how can you possibly endorse a woman being hunted through the woods by a man who then has sex with her, and it's almost, or sometimes it's actually non-consensual, but somewhere in the background it's also consensual. And if you can, as a reader, if you can just remember that all of that, it is just fiction, and it is just to have an escape from our normal lives, something that is a little bit more fun, something that we might think, oh my God, I wonder what that would be like. Even though you don't actually want it to happen to you don't want it to happen to anyone, reading about it in fiction is just exploring something that shouldn't happen in reality, unless it is obviously, completely consensual.
That's great. I think a lot of readers forget what fiction is sometimes. No, I shouldn't say a lot, but sometimes in the reviews,
some do.
They say it's not plausible, and maybe it doesn't have to be completely plausible because it's fiction. But our television viewing and our confusion with watching the news and stuff, sometimes I think it's hard for us to just let go of believability and that's probably why I keep writing my books, is because I think we need that. I think we need an escape, and I just want to make people laugh. I just would love to just know that I made one person laugh today. So because I do think laughter is medicine, and we need it in these dark times.
No, absolutely. I'm not very good at writing the funny stuff, but I do try, because, as you say, we do need laughter.
Your dialogue has gotten quite. I've really enjoyed the last few books in your series with some, and your Small Town, which hasn't come out yet, but I get to read Cassidy Reyne books ahead of time. She does mine, and she's also does editing for me, so I have a lot to thank you for. I have a professional editor that I pay, and then my dear friend actually is my third set of eyes for proofing, which I should be getting back to right now. I'm supposed to be proofing. So this is great. I think I can do more of this. I think I can maybe even do a bit more of my grace period interviews, which I used to do on Instagram. Start those back up, because this feels stable, and we'll see how it looks on YouTube. I'll go back and look at that, but I'll also share some clips of this because it's a Google Meet, so I think I can take clips and share them later.
Okay, sounds good.
So I want to have you again when it's a bit less spontaneous, but you did great with a spontaneous meet.
I'm quite happy, more than happy to be here.
It's always nice to see your face.
It's always great to see you as well.
Okay, so take care, breathe about the whole book delivery thing. Let's hope that happens for you.
I will try.
Again soon, and thank you to all of you for watching, and I will try to do this more regularly, but for sure my next one is December 2nd with Gary Furlong and Jackie Pryor, my narrators, and I believe I'm coming with Jackie on a meet one night next week or the week after, and she'll do a live reading from the lovely audiobook. Thank you so much, Cassidy.
You're very welcome. Speak to you soon.
Okay, have a great night.
Thanks, you too.